Danny, I certainly think it's fair. What's your confidence level that the Gunners will reverse that trend and make it different this time?
A couple of weeks ago, I think when we had the midweek set of fixtures not so long ago, very confident. I said at the time, only Arsenal can stop Arsenal. But that's before City clicked into gear. And the interesting thing is that when you look at Arsenal, and we've openly said it on the show so many times, they have been incredible this season. And when we've spoken about Manchester City, they're like, oh, you know, they're lacking the consistency. They're 2 points behind Arsenal now. And for me, the game changer for Manchester City, I think Manchester City win the league. And the game changer for me was when they went to Fulham and won 5-4. All of a sudden after that, you're like, no, they've not got enough control within this team to actually win the league. And I looked at it and thought, this is for Arsenal. Since then, they've won the last 3 Premier League games, 3-0 each game, clean sheet in all those 3 games. And it's as though that was sort of a turning point for Pep Guardiola, where he was like, we need to have more control. He changed the system, got a couple of more extra midfielders. And we know, second half of the season, they just get stronger and stronger and stronger.
1 vote for Man City. You going to make it 2?
Yeah, and I wrote them off at the beginning of the season. I said they'd be nowhere near a Premier League contenders. I just didn't see it at the start of the season. I think what we didn't take into consideration at the start of the season, or didn't really note where they were going to sit Manchester City, was off the back of the Club World Cup. How would that affect them during the summer? The preparation for the Premier League season. But it's almost like they front-loaded all the work in the summer, and it's allowed them to build momentum throughout the season. And now will we see the best of them? I still think there's a little bit of an unknown as to what will happen to Manchester City in terms of fatigue with the Club World Cup. But one thing you've got, and the difference is Haaland. You've got a guy who doesn't stop scoring. If they keep him fit and they keep him firing, I think they win the league. I think they've got enough. I think the big thing with Arsenal is that, yes, there is a chance they'll win the league, and there's still a very good chance they win the league. If Gyökeres can change his form and start scoring goals, then we might see a different Arsenal. At the moment, he's still adjusting to the league, still finding his feet. However, if he does find his feet, it could be very interesting.
I'm wondering how much you think history has anything to do with this. Does it actually have relevance and an effect, and a negative one, on Arsenal as we turn towards 26?
I would say experience more than probably anything to regards to what's happened before. Manchester City have been there and done it before. I can just imagine Pep Guardiola now just starting to ramp up the mind games. You know, you go back to Sir Alex Ferguson and Kevin Keegan, go back to Sir Alex Ferguson and Rafa Benitez. And we know Arteta, incredible manager. He's very emotional. And I think Pep Guardiola knows that as well, and he could play on that as well.
Yeah. History?
Yeah, I just think it'll just be difficult for Arsenal with Manchester City breathing down the neck and playing under that pressure. But they're very capable. I think it's going to be fascinating. I think it'll go right down to the end.
If you imagine Man City winning that and it's close, it's that psychological edge that Man City have won again and Man City are coming again. I just feel like Arsenal need it just to get over the line and just start used to winning competitions.
Okay, I'll take that. I think from a winning perspective and building a winning mentality and having something tangible for your competitive efforts. But then if you don't win anything else, who cares? You know, what would
But if they don't win anything at all?
How much worse is it if they don't win anything at all and they walk away this season with just the Carabao Cup?
Huge, because at least they've won something. The argument around Arteta is that he had the FA Cup, which Unai Emery's team, and all of these different things that it's kind of tainted. Okay. It's not his thing.
In his first season.
You get it's not his thing. But I also think as well, sorry, Hannah, I do think when you look at Inter last year, on for the treble, win nothing. Right. Now you start looking at them, you're like, can they win? And the doubts and the questions that this raises, I do think is uncomfortable.
Yeah, but you look at the story behind Arsenal, the first in the Premier League, the first in the Champions League phase. I know it is only December, but like you said, Nico, for them to walk away with just the Carabao Cup, it feels like very underwhelming.
They undoubtedly, in my opinion, I think they would have fallen short. Again, like they have in several seasons. Arsenal are a very, very good football team. And they've been a very good football team for many seasons. That is difficult to do. Look how many teams have one season and then they lose a player here or there and the project falls apart. And they had one good year.
Just on that then, they don't win nothing, right? We're midway through the season. They come second. They go out. let's say they go out in the quarterfinal as well, and they go out in the quarterfinal.
But then
Now-
again,
now
it will
what?
be like we've come second again
No,
in the Premier League.
but again, that was not good enough last year. So now you've spent more.
Okay.
You've got a bigger squad. You've got better. How many players do they lose?
A high-stakes encounter, Arsenal versus Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. As the Carabao Cup progresses today, we find ourselves on the brink of a thrilling clash between two iconic London rivals, Arsenal and Crystal Palace. This match is not just about advancing in a cup competition, it's about pride, history, and the power of the London Derby. With a background rich in footballing drama, the stakes are high for both teams. In this comprehensive preview, we will delve into recent form, team news, tactical insights, and predictions for what promises to be an electrifying encounter. The context: Carabao Cup significance. The Carabao Cup, also known as the EFL Cup, has long been a competition where teams from various tiers of English football have the chance to win silverware. For clubs like Arsenal and Crystal Palace, it represents an opportunity to secure a trophy and boost morale, especially in seasons where league performance may be up and down. Arsenal's quest for glory. Historically, Arsenal has been one of the dominant forces in English football, with a rich tradition of success. However, their last major trophy came in the FA Cup in 2017, and fans have been yearning for a return to form. The Carabao Cup presents a viable route for the Gunners to re-establish themselves in the upper echelons of English football. Crystal Palace's challenge for respect. On the other hand, Crystal Palace has been steadily building its reputation in the Premier League. Under the stewardship of their manager, they have actively sought to challenge the traditional big clubs. This match symbolizes not just competition, but a chance for Palace to assert their standing as London's underdogs who can cause upsets against stronger opponents. Recent form: Arsenal. Arsenal has been displaying a blend of attacking prowess and resilient defense in recent matches. Their ability to transition quickly and create chances will be critical in this encounter. Last 5 matches. Arsenal 1-0 to Everton. A commanding performance marked by a youthful attacking lineup that overwhelmed an Everton side struggling to maintain defensive discipline. Manchester City 1-1 to Arsenal. A tough loss against strong opposition highlighted areas for improvement, especially in defense when facing high-press teams. Arsenal 3-0 to Fulham. A gritty win where they showcased their defensive solidity, gaining 3 crucial points without conceding. Chelsea 2-2 to Arsenal. A closely contested London derby where the Gunners displayed resilience, coming back from a goal down to snatch a draw. Arsenal 4-1 to Tottenham. Another tightly fought North London derby where both sides shared the spoils, demonstrating the Gunners' fighting spirit despite defensive lapses. Key players to watch. Bukayo Saka. The young winger has been in outstanding form, exhibiting remarkable skill and determination. His ability to stretch defenders will be vital against Palace's backline. Gabriel Jesus. Since joining Arsenal, Jesus has added a new dynamic to their attack. His experience at the top level can influence the match's outcome significantly. Eberechi Eze. Rising rapidly, Eze's creativity and knack for scoring important goals make him a key player who can influence the match. Mark Odegaard. The captain and key playmaker provides creative energy in the midfield. His ability to dictate the tempo will be crucial in breaking down Palace's defenses. Recent form: Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace's season has been characterized by moments of brilliance punctuated by inconsistency. They are capable of causing significant problems for any team, but need to find some consistency to truly challenge such sides as Arsenal. Last 5 matches. Crystal Palace 0-0 to Wolverhampton. A frustrating draw where Palace struggled to create clear chances, but showed defensive aptitude. Manchester United 1-2 to Crystal Palace. A surprising and hard-fought victory against one of the traditional powerhouses. Goals from Zaha and Eberechi Eze showcased their attacking potential. Crystal Palace 1-1 to Newcastle. A competitive draw where Palace felt they could have taken all 3 points. Their defense held firm against a high-flying Newcastle side. Brentford 2-1 to Crystal Palace. A disappointing loss that highlighted defensive frailties, forcing the team to regroup and focus on improving their backline for upcoming matches. Crystal Palace 1-0 to Sheffield United. Solidifying their defensive resilience, Palace managed a much-needed win, highlighting their strategic approach involving counterattacks and set pieces. Key players to watch. Wilfried Zaha. The talismanic forward represents Palace's best hope. His pace and dribbling skills can create chaos in the opposition's defense. Expect him to be heavily involved in attacking play. Mark Guehi. As a young defender, Guehi has become a seasoned presence in Palace's backline. His ability to read the game and organize the defense will be crucial against Arsenal's quick forward play. Tactical approaches. Arsenal strategy. Under their manager's guidance, Arsenal typically employs an attacking 4-2-3-1 formation. This setup allows them to control possession while pushing players forward to create scoring opportunities. Key tactical elements. Ball control. Arsenal aims to dominate possession, utilizing their midfielders to dictate the game's pace. Width and pace. The width provided by players like Saka will push Crystal Palace's defense, allowing central players like Odegaard and Jesus to exploit spaces. Pressing. An energetic pressing style will be utilized to win back the ball quickly, especially against a Palace side that sometimes struggles to maintain possession. Crystal Palace's strategy. Crystal Palace often adopts a more defensive formation, typically setting up in a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 depending on the opposition. This provides them with a robust defensive structure while giving them the flexibility to counterattack. Key tactical elements. Defensive solidity. Palace will look to absorb pressure and form a compact defensive block to frustrate Arsenal's attacking flow. Counterattacks. Quick transitions and counterattacks are key parts of Palace's strategy, taking advantage of the speed of Zaha and Eze. Set pieces. Capitalizing on set pieces could provide a critical advantage given Arsenal's occasional vulnerabilities in defending them. Head-to-head record. The rivalry between Arsenal and Crystal Palace has seen numerous memorable moments and dramatic encounters. In recent years, Arsenal has had the upper hand, but Palace has also caused upsets, most notably their victory at the Emirates a few seasons ago. Last 5 meetings. Arsenal 3-1 to Crystal Palace. An emphatic win for Arsenal playing at home, showcasing their attacking prowess and controlling the game. Crystal Palace 1-0 to Arsenal. A famous upset where Palace's defensive system frustrated Arsenal, leading to a memorable clean sheet. Arsenal 4-1 to Crystal Palace. Arsenal once again showed their dominance, with a flurry of goals giving them a comfortable win. Crystal Palace 2-2 to Arsenal. A thrilling match where both teams shared the spoils, featuring quality goals and end-to-end action. Arsenal 1-0 to Crystal Palace. A hard-fought clash that tested Arsenal's resolve, but they managed to secure an important win. Predictions and analysis. Based on current form, both teams are capable of bringing their best. Arsenal is seen as the favorite due to their home advantage, recent performances, and depth of squad. However, it would be remiss to underestimate Crystal Palace, especially in a knockout match where the pressure can create unpredictable outcomes. Prediction outcome. Arsenal win. Given their attacking strength and the need for a cup run, a prediction of 2-1 in favor of Arsenal seems plausible. Their firepower combined with the electric atmosphere at the Emirates could ultimately tip the scales in their favor. Crystal Palace upset. Should Palace manage to disrupt Arsenal's rhythm early on and take advantage of their counter-attacking opportunities, a 1-0 win for them wouldn't be out of the question. The Carabao Cup match between Arsenal and Crystal Palace promises an exciting evening at the Emirates Stadium.
Both teams have their motivations. Arsenal aims to reclaim glory and confidence, while Crystal Palace seeks to build respect and create an upset. The blend of tactical intrigue, individual brilliance, and the history of the fixture adds multiple layers of complexity to this encounter. Fans from both sides will be eagerly anticipating kickoff, ready to support their team in pursuit of a valuable cup victory. As we await match day, the build-up continues. Will Arsenal assert their superiority, or can Crystal Palace deliver a memorable upset? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, this London derby is not to be missed.